Hi, I'm Alison from Alison Petty Coaching. I am a mindset coach and I specialize in resilience and transformational coaching because for me, those two things go absolutely hand in hand. Because if you want to create any kind of transformational shift in your life, being able to tap into those inner resources of resilience, confidence, and self-esteem are key to making that transformation swift and solid. My journey to coaching began in 1993 when I was just 17 years old, and I was handed a medical diagnosis of ME, CFS, and fibromyalgia. I then went on to spend the next 24 years predominantly bedbound, in a wheelchair, and living with daily chronic pain, extreme fatigue, and intense cognitive struggles, in amongst a plethora of other very grim symptoms. I tried all the medications that were appropriate for that illness at that time. None of them made me feel any better. Many of them made me feel worse because of the side effects. And I tried all the alternative therapies that I could access at that time. But again, nothing touched the sides. That was until 2016 when I began my own transformational journey. Now, this is a very long story short, so I would invite you to read my story in much more depth on my website here. So in 2016, I attended a 3-day training program called the Lightning Process. And on this course, you are taught an NLP-based technique. Now, this course and this technique changed my life. And again, if you are new to NLP and neuroplasticity, again, I would encourage you to read my story because I will go into it much more depth there. Because again, this is a very long story short. But what's important for me to tell you is that from the first day of being on that course, I was never in that wheelchair again. And more importantly for me, I never relapsed again. I was just on a very steady and sure path to the place where I'm at now. I spent about a year practicing this technique to the point where I felt I was then well enough to take on a full-time job. And once I discovered that I could sustain that, I then added into the mix an adventure of a few years in between then and now of rock climbing and mountain biking and hill walking and running and traveling, all while holding down a very, very busy job where sometimes I would be doing 45 hours a week plus. It's a very physical job too. But on top of that, I was doing all these outdoor pursuits activities. So I discovered that I, at 41 years old, could live a very full and active life and sustain it. That was the most important part of all. This was something I never dared to dream of during all those 24 years. When I was 16, I dreamed of being a rock climbing instructor. So to go through all those years of such grim illness, it would have been, well, it was so unimaginably painful to dream of the life that I have now. So for me to have this life now means more than I can even begin to say. And I always feel a little bit emotional when I start to talk about that. So for me, I am now using those 24 years, that history, that experience to help others, you, overcome whatever your version of that wheelchair is. It might be for you that it's some confidence issue, some anxiety, some conflict of some kind. You might know what it is, but you might not. You just know that you're stuck in some way. It might also be that life feels actually okay, but you know it could be better, but you're just not sure how to make that shift so that you can enhance your life. So if you'd like to have a chat with me about how I can help you, I would love to hear from you. You can contact me through my website. And again, if you'd like to have a chat with me about my recovery, about the technique that I did to recover, and about the way I use NLP now to coach my clients, please do get in contact. I would love to hear from you. Always happy to talk in person as well. So yes, please do get in contact.